I've been growing amaranth for the last several years, and in this video I'll tell you a little bit about what I've learned about growing amaranth. Amaranth has a long history that dates back thousands of years. It was an important part of Aztec culture. In our garden it seems like we get quite a bit of insect damage on them early on, but as they get taller it seems like the insects don't bother them as much. Amaranth grain itself is small, round, and comes in various colors, including golden, red, and purple. Amaranth is highly nutritious and packed with protein, fiber, and essential minerals like iron and magnesium. Amaranth grains can be cooked like rice or quinoa and used as a base for salads, side dishes, or porridges. It can also be ground into flour, which is gluten-free. It can be used in breads, muffins, and pancakes. One thing about amaranth is it produces a whole lot of seeds. So if you grow it the next spring, you'll probably notice dozens, if not hundreds, of seedlings that come up from the previous plants. The plant you're looking at here came up from seeds that fell on the ground the previous year, and I let it grow right where it sprouted. As the summer progresses and the plants grow taller and taller, they eventually start to produce flower heads, and that is where all of the seeds will be formed. When the flower heads first start to form, they're tightly packed. But as the flower heads get larger, they start to loosen up, and that is when the seeds will begin to fall to the ground if you don't harvest them. And I haven't really gotten around to using it as a food source. The interesting thing about amaranth is you can eat the grain or the leaves. It can also be popped like popcorn, and that's one of the first things I'd like to try. The leaves can be cooked like spinach or added to soups, stews, or stir-fries. You can tell when it's time to harvest because many times the birds will start to eat the seeds, or when you run your hand down a flower head and the seeds easily fall from it, it's time to harvest. The flower heads that you're looking at here are actually a little bit too tight to harvest a lot of seeds from, but I was saving seeds just to plant for the next year. Although I usually have plenty of volunteer seedlings, I like to play things on the safe side. Once you have the flower heads removed from the plant, there are a couple of ways to separate the seeds from the flower head. Of course, when you save the seeds to eat, you'll harvest all of them, but here I'm just going to harvest a few and I'll show you how to separate those seeds. What I'm going to do, just to show you how easy they dislodge, I'm going to tap this thing, and you can see all the seeds that are in there. Alright, I got an old dirty white minnow bucket, but I think you can kind of see what I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is just put this inside, shake it, look at all those seeds, pick out the flower heads, and you got yourself a ton of seeds if you wanted to save them just for planting the next year. And there's one way you can get a lot of this chaff out and have more pure seeds, and I'll show you that in just a second. Separating the seeds from the chaff is pretty easy. Just dump your contents from the bucket into a strainer. Then you shake the strainer a little bit, and most of the seeds will fall through the strainer, and most of the chaff will stay inside the strainer. Get rid of the chaff is to roll seeds down to one end, blow away the flowers, and then roll the seeds down to the other end. Blow away the flowers. You can repeat that as many times as you like until the seeds are as clean as you want. Another thing you can do is those little chunks of flour are lighter than the seeds. You can blow on the whole pile
And a lot of those will leave the plate, and then some of them end up on the edge. The more you do that, the cleaner the seeds are. I think you'll enjoy growing it. It's an interesting plant to grow. I haven't ever experimented with actually using it as a food source yet, but I hope to in the future. If you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.